Hey folks, and welcome to another Sasoi spikeboarding tutorial and demonstration. And here we are at the foothills, very close to the front range of the Rockies in Colorado. And there's some steep little short blocks here. We're going to do a little loop, then we're going to finish it off with a couple little cool down loops, and we're going to start with a stand-up spike stroke. So a stand-up spike stroke is very similar to the double pole stroke of skiing. Look at that vector line on that skateboard spike. That thing's going at 45 degrees to the rear, spiking right near the rear of that foot, almost right near the rear wheel. And of course, stand-up spike, you're switching from side to side as well. My goodness, that's fantastic glassy asphalt. Beautiful, divine. It doesn't get much better than this. Look at that big Colorado sky. It is gorgeous. Right here you're seeing a fantastic view of how similar this sport is to double poling. It's incredible. Look at those arms staying at 90 degrees and just barreling in and digging straight into that core and that lat and driving that vector line to the rear. Of course, absolutely. All we can do is spike, land. Vector lines traveling to the front will render themselves useless in any kind of uphill stand-up mountain race. So in Colorado, we've done stand-up spike up Lookout Mountain, very close to here. And we welcome you to check out the videos there. And we welcome you to qualify for a little bit of challenge racing for KOM. Ladies, if you want to do a little QOM racing, you got to get yourselves all together, maybe 4 or 5 of you, and then we can start some racing. We do have a qualifying athlete in Denver, Colorado, none other than Stuart Gillespie, former winner, white jersey winner of the Millcross Tour of Ireland, and a very fine endurance athlete, qualified right alongside us, and a straight up Lookout Mountain from the pillars on up. And it was a mighty nice qualification run, and we're waiting for a couple more you hard asses out there someplace who want to come race and beat some old men. So Stuart's, I believe, a racing age 37. This is a racing age 55-year-old, and there's just $8,000 on the table. That's all. That's it. There's just $8,000 on the table. So you all out in Colorado, if you're tough, well, there's $8,000 on the table. That's always, oh, come on out. So here we go, continuing straight on up and stand-up spike. My goodness, when I did a little recon on this in the car, oh, it's not that steep. It's not that steep at all. But this is about as steep as you want stand-up spike to get when you are a big, square, fat man like this. Little whippers, 145, 138 pound men, probably fly straight on up this, make it look casual. But this is about as steep as we like to have it. And when you're climbing in stand-up spike, you need to stay calm. And a little misfire like that shouldn't freak you out. You just get that spike back in there. You're trying to self-arrest yourself as much as you are going forward at the same time. Look at how well that skateboard spike works. See that rotation in that hand? Without that skateboard spike, no posi, as they used to say when I was in junior high school. Absolutely no positivity. Delwood, we'll see you on the next one, Delwood. We're coming back. Coming back for you, honey. Gonna do you in Kubi Cross next time around. And now we're gonna see some really sweet descending over this, what's really basically a pickle loop with a couple little chicane turns. So it's not straight away, super long, elongated loop without any turns in it. And it's just beautiful, isn't it? Colorado's such a lovely place, especially now in the fall. Look at those colors. And a little bit of work there, got that heart rate up. And now for a little bit of delicious descending. Never forget, The mentality of spikeboarding is all cross-country skier, all performance, all technical performance forward, and then you get a little ice cream on the way down. And of course, this isn't downhill longboarding, folks, so you're gonna sweat bullets on the way up, and you're gonna just chill out on the way down. So find your loops accordingly. This isn't downhill, this isn't sliding. What we're gonna see here is we're gonna manage these descents with some switch drifting and some one-legged rail carving that's switching as well. So it's one-legged rail carving with the drifting is really going to make the braking, the cadence braking, very manageable. So if you do it straight away, you're going to have a lot more load on your knees, and if you can do it, there wasn't that too bad at all, right? So we're going to head on over to a slight little rise, and then another little descent, and a left and a right and a right and a left and a left and a right, and we'll be back at the bottom, and we'll be back to attack that little nugget lump in this Kubi cross stroke that you're seeing here. So there's a stand-up spike stroke, and there's a little 1/1, pop a little 1/1 off. Notice how that vector line is really staying parallel to your board for every degree to which it goes out to the left or the right. You're just going to lose power. So you don't want to give away your power. If you can keep it, what the heck? All you got to do is keep your spike parallel with your board. And here we go, just a little more cadence braking. There's not a ton of traffic right in front of us, but there's a good bit of local neighborhood traffic, so keep your speed in check. There's people going about their business, doing what they got to do there. Lost a little bit of contact with the pavement, just a hair, and all that is skateboarding. So when you just carving, 100% skateboarding, you're going to need your carving skills, and a little bit of crocodile pavement in and around here. Drove this a couple times. Might come through here a little faster on the next time, just getting a feel for it. And stay to the rear of your board when things get a little broken up and turbulent. Your front wheels will roll right over it. You know, all things being equal. So if it's really natty, be cool, man. Don't go jumping through holes with big rocks in them and stuff. But heck, if you go fast enough, you can get over most anything. Here's a little lefty right in here. A couple little S-turns here. Pick up the speed. This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So if you know this loop, man, it's delicious to live around here. You've got core right out your door. Delicious core right out your door. It's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun for you. This bright Colorado sunshine, just can't beat it. Cover up with that sunscreen, high mountain sun. We know we did. Some lovely new modern architecture on this loop. And here we go. We're going to blast this little descent again. It's a lot of fun. This kind of like punchy, fast and go situations are just delicious to be, you know, pumping out 130, 150 beats per minute constantly. Developing really, really great cross training for skate ski or hockey skating, speed skating, figure skating, all those things. Waist down, that's what you got cooking. Only ambi pedal, so that dedicated continuing skate kick with nose over knee and knee over toes, you just don't get that. You don't get that unless you're kicking a board. And another little right-hander here, and again, there's the berm. You can see the berm. It's the same one all the way across this little rise here. So it's a tiny little street. We know that car's back there. We're just trying to dispatch this out of the way. We're going to let it go. We're going to be at the bottom. So bingo, there you go. So long. Thank you for your help back there and your patience. And in this little residential neighborhood, and a little right-hander, and then a nice long loop around this lower pickle in this park here at the foothills of what some people call Flatirons, so on and so forth. So sure, you know where we are by now if you live here. A lot of fit people around here. That's what they say. Fit, fit, fit. And come on out, get fit. Oh, I do every single sport on the planet. I'm super fit. Oh, well, hey, we welcome you to spikeboarding. Seems like the kind of thing that keep you fit. You want to have fun? Spikeboarding's delicious, guys. It's really nice. Got a good clear glimpse there of the wrist guards, which we always wear. You might want to wear them too. You get a linebacker, you get a boxer, and you support their joints. So linebacker supports their ankle joints, and the boxer supports their wrist joints. Because those joints are under heavy constraint, they're big demand. There's no straps in spike boarding, guys. There's a skateboard spike, and you're reliant on your grip. And wrist guards are gonna help that a great deal. Pick whichever ones you want, whichever ones work best, and begin to use them. And maybe some crafty company out there will get to work on optimizing them, because they sure as heck aren't optimized now. And also the scaphoid's very simple bone to fracture. It's the most common bone in the entire human body to fracture, and it is a nasty little booger to heal. And it can get disunion, and it can take 10 weeks to heal. And you know, you need both your hands to operate at optimum conditions. So you don't want to fracture that scaphoid. It'll fracture really quick. You might lose a little skin on knees and elbows if you got a little something happen. But I mean, you could have the smallest of little vacation off the front of that board, back or side, and scaphoid will snap quickly. But more than anything, we wear them on account of they really help you power up stand-up spike as well as Kubi cross when in conjunctionally used. Conjunctionally, that's not a word, I don't think. When in conjunction with a skateboard spike. My goodness, is that orange, yellow, and green just, ooh, against the blue? So beautiful. Stand-up spike, gosh, looks very similar to double pole, doesn't it? Bang, bang, bang. Looks like a classics racer there. Just driving it in. This little turn's a little natty, a little tricky, especially when there's a bike in front of you. If there wasn't a bike, you probably wouldn't need to peel off speed. I could take a little different line. So the bike actually had to slow down to take its own line. And there you go. So we're going to do this loop again. It's just a little cool down loop right here. And these backlit pictures are beautiful. Boy, it'd be nice to be back out in Colorado. El estado de color. Así que es, sí lo es. So beautiful, Colorado. What a place. Look at that slight little rise there. See how well that Kubi cross functions. And of course, when you've got the sport dialed in, a little bit of turbulence under your feet, some crocodile, it's not going to bother you. You're going to be fine. But beginners might want to stand-up spike, that kind of stuff. Whenever anything gets a little unstable, yeah, that's the time to go to stand-up spike. So we never lose our power in spike boarding. It doesn't matter. Feet are on the deck, nail it, drive it, stand-up spike it. Stand-up spike, core out your door. And if you're thinking about getting into the sport, hey, start with some stand-up spike. And we stand-up spike always at both left and right, and that's why the sport's going to be a standalone sport. You can stand-up spike to your heart's delight and never develop a switch kick. Switch kick's the bottom of the Kubi cross. And you can just be a stand-up spike athlete. Spikeboarding is the execution of all three strokes. CXC, ICXC, that is ICXC for inside Kubi cross, and stand-up spike. And here you're going to see a nice demonstration of a Kubi cross stroke climbing glassy conditions, really easy to drift. See how when it goes flat, you don't really need to drift forward. As soon as it gets steep, you're going to see that rear foot come in, heel to toe, and then you're going to see the drift forward right there. There's the drift forward. The faster the board goes, the harder it is to drift forward, and actually not that much of a benefit. But when you start climbing, it's going to relax the rear leg. Watch that rear leg come in. It doesn't need to come up and over. Right now, if that front leg had to come up, over, and down, it causes a heck of a lot more consternation and more energy output. When you can just step right forward simultaneously then you're spiking, and then when this rear leg comes in, it just drops right in, and then it drifts straight forward. Makes your life really easy. So obviously we're climbing here, and you're really going to feel that. You want to stay as relaxed as you can, and you want to go loose, tight, tight, loose, tight, loose, tight, loose, tight, loose, tight, loose. Breathe, relax, climb at your own speed. So you can really have a spectacular blow up here. It's a little different than bikes. Bikes you can blow up like crazy too. But hey, you got a seat between your legs. All you cross-country skiers and you cross-country runners, you're gonna know the difference. So if you're coming from cycling, hey, we're gonna take a bigger chill pill. If you're coming from running and skiing, you already know, like, hey, chill, man, relax. You can blow up easy in this sport. But as you can see, the climbing is a heck of a lot faster in Kubi Cross than it is in stand-up spike. But still, it's an endeavor when things get this steep. And of course, you can see how well those drops on that dedicated spike board. It's a skateboard, yes, I understand that. It's a skateboard that's optimized for switch kicking, especially for switch kicking spike boarding. Therefore, we call it a spike board. So the length of the board, the drop of the board, the fenders of the board, all of it pretty much optimized for spike boarding. You're not going to want to ride this board unless you're doing a heck of a lot of switch kicking with drifting. Not too many people drift that we know of, but we use drifting to good effect for climbing, and we also use it just for inherent training, and of course to get downhills as well. Drifting the board left, right, and center is awful handy. So we've been through here before, folks. You just saw it. We just came through here. So here we go again, and you want to keep that spike switching just naturally. Keep it on the side where your leg is not, so the opposite side of the leg when you switch. It just helps if you keep everything functioning as you will need it. Notice how those arms are staying at 90 degrees. They're not just dropping around, floating around, flapping. They're staying at 90, just prepared to grab that spike and continue the same motion. And as you can see, it's a lot less stress on everything if you do a little carving, switch drifting as you come down. So no problem, simple matter of business, getting down that steep stuff that doesn't have run out. We looked and looked and looked for sweet loops, but we couldn't find any that had nice run out with no touch, that were this big in this geographic area. But folks, fear not, Sasoi is on the way with a fully operational disc brake, and then you could do loops and pretend you're a criterium racer. At Somerville, you got brakes, baby, you got brakes. So little descents like that, just feathered up a little, and become a whole nother sport. Get yourself up Flagstaff, get yourself down Flagstaff, get yourself up Lookout, get yourself down Lookout. Yeah, we're on a board, and yeah, we don't slide. So you could get yourself a track bike and go sliding down the Alps. Yeehaw! Be a good time, wouldn't it? Be rad, man. Cool. Yeah, skid around. Only, yeah, it'd be a challenge to race that way. You probably wouldn't find that many people who are sensationally skilled at skidding down 15K climbs and then hammering up them, and it would just be, well, it would be a big ordeal. So it'd be like going to school to get a degree in engineering, medicine, and law, and not so many people are going to be into that. So we either run our motor hard with a little bit of navigational technique, or we radical acrobat. And of course, that's the same in skiing, guys. So Lindsey Vonn, last I checked, she's not beating Jess Diggins and Keitha Randall. And neither are those two superstar women who have done what American Olympic men have never done, would be doing downhill skiing at the speeds that Lindsey is. So there's acrobat theater, and there is endurance-based theater. And spikeboarding is very much endurance-based theater. But a little ice cream, remember, you get some ice cream. You're looking at it right there. It's nice. So undulating hills until we get brakes, or velo spiking. Get a partner, get a bike, disc brakes, bike keeps repeating till spike gets to top. Both athletes come down, spikeboarder leans on the bike. Beautiful. We've done it a lot, haven't filmed it yet. Where will we film that tandem partner velo spiking? Who knows who's gonna do that, in what state? And how about Madison slings, man? Who all knows Madison slings? Raise their hand. Anybody knows what a Madison sling is? Look it up. Cycling Madisons. Just look up Madison World Cup, and you'll see what they are. Anyhow, so Madison slings between spikeboarding and cycling. It's going to happen, people. It's on the horizon. It must happen. Multisport 2.0, of course, has to happen. Yo, man, we're in Colorado. This is nice, and spikeboarding seems to like Colorado. Huh. Certainly, the planet is happy to sustain it. Double poling, like classics, man. Just like the classics. Drive it, core lat, core lat, core lat, core lat. In the land of the tough, man. Here we are. I do every sport in the world. I'm the fittest man on earth. There's $8 on the table for you, fittest man on earth. $8. $8. Come on out. Qualify, look out. Come take this $8 from this hairy old gray-haired fat square animal. That's what we want, man. So qualify. It's a fun sport, guys, really. Spikeboarding, delicious, really nice. The last innovation, cross-country skiing. I think so. I don't know. Look at it. Waist up. What's that guy doing? Playing tiddlywinks? So it looks like cross-country skiing to me. Skate ski, 1985. Spikeboarding, 2010. August 10. 6:15 p.m. Central Park. Bang. The world became a different place because spikeboarding fell into it. So folks, we hope you've enjoyed this video, a little demonstration, and we hope you will consider to spike hard, spike often, and spikeboarding Colorado.